What's up guys, I'm here in my garage. Welcome to another episode of Daily Refinement. I'm going to show you guys how I store 7,000 items and give you an idea of how I store things, and so you guys can sort of copy my inventory system. I used to use clothing pins, but I have now switched to Amazon address labels to keep track of the inventory, and I'll show you exactly how that works. So I have numbered bins from A00 to A99. I have 4 sets of these clear bins for smaller items. I also have 4 double Z racks, and that's how I store outerwear and larger clothing items. Those store 200 each for a total of 800 total pieces of outerwear, suits, jackets, parkas, stuff that's a little bit heavier and doesn't fit in these small guys. And then I also have a set of 100 bins for hard goods, electronics, other things that sell well but are not in the clothing niche. Those are stored in a different area of the house. So how do I know where to find items? Well, these numbers and codes are either in the custom SKU or the title of my item to help me identify it. So as an example, this is A09 right down here, A09 the bin. So this on here has an address tag, and it's going to say A09, which is where the location is. And if you guys are trying to copy Amazon, what Amazon does is they assign every item 2 numbers. One number is the item ID, the other item or barcode, and the other item is the location. So they go boop boop with their barcode scanner, and so now they know where it is, where it lives, and that's how they keep track. But if you are a smaller operation like myself and you don't have a lot of stuff, you can get away with just handwriting it, or for me, I actually type them out on Avery software. Avery is the label making company, so I use aftermarket labels to save money, but I print using their software, and I print them out in sequential numbers so that it's easy to keep track of all my inventory. I pre-print all that, and I write on there the condition. As you guys know, I sell 99% pre-owned goods, and because of that, each one has a slight defect or flaw, and I write that defect or flaw right on that address label so that I can keep track and let the customer know the best to my ability what's wrong with the item, or why it was returned, or why it made to the thrift store. It might have a small stain or a small tear, missing a button. I notate it on there, and then for me there's different steps in the process, so there's always places for us to catch the errors, and that's why we have that tag there. So I'm going to walk over to a different area. So, I do have 4 full-time staff now. This is Rose. She is describing items. Hi. And over here we have James and CJ. They are photographing right now on a Lastolite, so you can see this background right here illuminates, and that eliminates the background, and that makes it so it makes it so, let me walk over to where it's a little more quiet. It makes it so the background can easily be erased in post-production if I want to go that route, but it gives you that bright, crispy white background on photos. It's really going to pop for you if you sell dresses or coats or things that you want to see the full detail and color and texture. So the Lastolite background is very cool, but not necessary. If you guys look, I have another photo video where you can take, 99th percentile fantastic photos with just a piece of painter's canvas or vinyl and daylight. And if you, as long as you have a smartphone, I recommend 6S Plus or higher on iPhone. You can take really, really fantastic photos with a limited budget. You don't need to get something fancy. It's more of just for fun. I think it's fun to try to create perfect photos for certain items, but again, it is overkill. A lot of people get hung up on getting too fancy of equipment, or spending too much time trying to do perfection, when if you look at the solds on eBay or Mercari or Poshmark, you'll see that you're competing against people who just take a picture in a dim room with clutter in the background. So the barrier to entry is really low. If you take pictures with just an uncluttered background, an uncluttered neutral background, you're actually going to have a huge leg up on your competition, because most people are just people selling random stuff out of their house, and the people who are commercial are going to have more stock-like photos. So you can squeeze right in the middle of those two and have a nice little business in between people who just sell their regular stuff and large commercial enterprises. So again, These shelves, a lot of people have been asking where I get these. I get them right on eBay. They're about $60. They're wire shelves. I'll include a link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, but I think the way eBay Partner Network works, which is what a lot of people have been asking me how to make extra money, they basically pay you half of the final value fees. And the people who sell these shelves have a ridiculous rate with eBay. I think they only pay between 4 and 6% final value fees, which is not very much. That's why normally I use Amazon affiliate links, even though I talk about eBay the most, because eBay's commission structure on their partner network is horrible. So I would rather refer you something that I buy on Amazon. But in this case, these bins I got at Target for $5. I waited until they had a promotion and I got them all for $4. So you can save a little bit of money, especially if you use a Target Red card. You can get a smoking deal on these shelves. But I do recommend you do not get paper or cardboard boxes. If you live in an area like me where there can be some moisture, those boxes get destroyed really easily. At least they did for me. I bought some from IKEA. They're really beautiful, but they don't last very long, at least for me. So especially with temperature change, and if you're constantly moving them in and out of racks, they are going to break. So I recommend getting something plastic. You can go bigger. For these particular shelves in my setup, they don't fit perfectly in the shelves. I think they're a little bit cattywampus, is that the right word? Where they don't fit perfectly in here. But again, this is not like this is clearly not an interior design show. This is pretty ugly. This is just like a straightforward way to keep track of inventory. I'm not going to win any awards for simplicity or beauty, but it's just a way for me to keep track of this much inventory. So depending on where you want to go, guys, I think it's personally, I'm going to move into a commercial space next year, so I am just sort of creating a little mini version of what the bigger version will look like. So I think it's important for you guys to create a replicatable model, right? And once you have that set up, then try to do it on a larger scale with more employees. But just remember, each time you scale up, it gets a lot more complicated and there are a lot more bills. Also, this is pretty cool. I want to show you guys right here. You can actually see the post office guy is backing into my driveway. So